Hi boys, it's HarmNone. Today we're going to be customizing the Mammoth Patriot Mil-Spec in GTA Online. This vehicle is of course on sale this week, which is why I'm customizing it. I haven't customized this thing since the day it came out 3 years ago, which is pretty crazy. So anyways, we're in the Amani Tech workshop because of course this is an Amani Tech capable vehicle, so we're going to fully customize and upgrade it, and then we're going to take it out for a review and I'm going to tell you guys if I think it's worth purchasing. So anyways, we're going armor all the way up. We're going to go for the armor plating on the doors, which is going to enable this thing to take extra damage by a significant margin. It'll take 4 RPGs with the Amani Tech armor plating on it, which is what this is. And then we're going to go for the bull bars here. We're going to see which one we want to do. I'm kind of thinking I want as many lights as possible on this thing, so I'm going to go for, oh man, I wish I could do this in like black. Maybe I'll do the painted guard with fogs and LED, and then I think that might be a secondary color option. At least I'm hoping for it, so we'll see. For the front bumpers here though, let's see, which one of these options would we like to go with? Probably the black off-road crux bumper, I think, or crew bumper. I think that's gonna be my preferred option here, so we'll go for that. For the rear bumper, I'm gonna go for the black off-road bumper, except I actually kind of like the stock rear. I might keep the stock rear. I think I'm going to actually, so we'll keep that. Engine level 4, we will go for that. For the exhaust, we can do a side exit exhaust in chrome instead of just black. This is a dual side exit. I think I'm just gonna keep the one, except I'm gonna go for the, I don't know, I kind of like the stock exhaust. No, I'll go for the side exit chrome exhaust. We'll go for that. For the hood, we got the secondary hood, we get the primary vented hood scoop. We also have that in secondary. We have the plastic hood cover as well, or the primary chrome vented cover. I think I'm gonna go for the primary vented scoop hood. I kind of like the look of that. Let's go for it. For the remote control, we'll do the missile lock-on jammer. For the light, yeah, we'll go xenon for sure. And then for the neon kit, I'll go ahead and throw one on just to help lower the center of gravity on the vehicle a little bit. For the livery, I might go for the military issue just because I kind of like it. It's kind of military-esque, you know, it's nothing too crazy. We do have some other options here though for the look of the vehicle. The 90s sandbox camo is kind of interesting. We also have large geometric camo, small digital, and back to none. I wish this thing had the full camo options that some of the vehicles that you upgrade in like the MOC or like the Avenger have. But I guess for right now, I'll just go for the military issue livery. I kind of like the look of that. For the mirrors, I think I'm going to go for the black bolted wide mirrors. I kind of like the look of that. So we'll do that. Yellow and black for the plate. For the primary weapons, this thing is a first-gen Amani Tech vehicle, so you can put the front-mounted machine guns on it. So I'll go ahead and do that just because why not? We also have the oil slick proximity mine, so we'll go ahead and put that on too. For the color on this thing, I think the last time I did one of these, I think I made it like a desert tan. This time around, I think I'm going to go for something slightly different and maybe just go for like a green. If not, maybe like a gray, honestly, like a light gray. I feel like that's kind of cool looking, so we'll go for that. And then for the secondary color, I'll go matte black because I kind of want to two-tone this thing. I think it looks kind of good, so we'll do that. For the roof, we got the primary roof. We can change it to. We also have the roof rack. We have the chrome roof rack, the cargo roof rack. We have the chrome cargo roof rack. We also have the roof basket with fog lights, or the chrome roof basket with fog lights, or of course the roof basket with the LED bar, or another LED bar as well. Kind of like the look of that. We'll go for that option for right now. Why not? For the side step on this thing, there are a bunch of different ones that we can go for here. I kind of like the look of the Stinger side steps. I think that's what I went with last time. And I think it's the most aggressive looking, so I think I'm going to go for that option. Or maybe the black trail running boards. I think I'll actually go with that option. I feel like it kind of suits the vehicle a little bit better. I'm going to keep the suspension all the way raised up so it's a little bit better off-road. Actually, you know what? On second thought, I'm actually going to lower it to street suspension because I'm pretty sure the last time I used this thing with the suspension all the way up, it was absolutely horrible. So I'll just leave that alone, actually. For the tailgate, we got the secondary, we got the plate delete, or of course the secondary plate delete trunk. I don't see a difference between like any of these, so I'm just going to leave it stock. Race transmission, we'll go for that. For the truck bed itself, we got the roll bar that we can put on this thing. We got this Gladiator roll bar as well. We have the spare wheel on here. We also have the windowed hardtop, which is pretty cool. And we have the solid hardtop. I'm going to put on the solid hardtop for a specific reason that I will show you guys in just a little minute here. We'll also go for the turbo tuning. And for the wheels, I'm going to go for the Concave Rally Master. It's my favorite off-road wheel, so we'll do that. We'll do the wheels in black. We'll put bulletproof tires on it as well, and we will tint the windows all the way out. So this thing's looking pretty good. Let's take it outside. We're going to do a sound test as well as a full review on the vehicle here. So let's just take a listen. So it doesn't sound anything close to special, but it probably shouldn't anyways, because it is a Humvee at the end of the day. It's not some supercar or performance car in any stretch. So, you know, it does make sense. As far as the interior goes in this thing, it's pretty nice. There's some like diamond stitching on the doors, which is cool. I think this is like one of the only new interiors Rockstar has like ever made in recent times for a vehicle in GTA. So it actually looks pretty good in here. I mean, it's kind of boring, but it looks good nonetheless. So the Patriot Mil-Spec, it's on sale this week. If you're watching this in the future though, don't worry, I'm going to talk about this thing at its full price as well, and let you know whether or not I think it's worth buying at full price. To get things started with the Patriot Mil-Spec, something that annoys me about this vehicle is the fact that it is not very stable and is very, very top heavy. This also results in it having terrible braking and just generally bad performance. Not that you would expect it to have great performance, again, because it's based off of a Humvee with heavy armor on it, which the Humvee was never made to have, but the American military fitted it anyways, so it's just one of those things. But in GTA, like in real life, it's just kind of underpowered for what it is and really, really heavy. Now, it is a good Imani Tech car, don't get me wrong. It's pretty decent. It's not the best by any means, but it's not the worst either. It's just, yeah, it's definitely like on the lower end of the Imani Tech vehicles for sure. But yeah, overall, it's pretty slow. The handling is quite abysmal, and generally it's not a very fun car to drive. Off-road, you would hope that it would get better, and in some ways it does. It can climb decently, as you guys can see right here. It's not bad, but pretty much anything all-wheel drive can climb in GTA, and hell, anything rear-wheel drive can climb most of the time as well. So this isn't really saying a whole lot, and it's not really that impressive. I mean, most vehicles could climb this area that I'm on right now. And the problem as well when it comes to the off-roading, as you guys will see here in a minute when I get to a good off-road section, the Patriot kind of struggles, and it's due to that high center of gravity that this thing just sort of has because of the armor and everything like that. It's also not high enough off the ground to like scale over things like this guardrail, for example. An Insurgent or even maybe a Night Shark could probably get over that, whereas this thing cannot. Now, granted, I did lower it a little bit, but that is going to be for good reason, as you guys will see in just a minute here. But we're going to go ahead and hop across the water here over to the military base side of the marsh. And I'm going to try to demonstrate for you guys what this thing kind of operates like on an off-road, like, I wouldn't say circuit, but like an off-road track, like a dirt road, you know, and also just demonstrate what you can. Okay, it's already doing it. It really sucks at taking bumps. It cannot take bumps. This vehicle completely sucks with that. And the reason I lowered the suspension is I'm pretty sure the last time that I drove this vehicle, I had the suspension all the way raised so that it would have the best chance at being good off-road. And I was curious today to see if it would make a difference if the suspension didn't have such a ability to rebound and like knock the vehicle off center, but yeah, it's not helping so far seemingly. But as you guys can see, this thing is pretty slow here. Now again, not that you should expect it to be fast, but this is just a fact. It is a slow vehicle, especially in comparison to a lot of other Imani Tech vehicles. It also gets thrown around by bushes super easily, and it has a huge problem with understeer. It understeers like crazy, despite being a pretty slow vehicle as well. It's also insanely slow off-road. As you can see, this is fully upgraded. This is turbo engine transmission on the thing, and we're barely moving. We're going like, how fast are we going? We're going like, what, 60, I think right now, off-road? Which, like, for example, other Imani Tech cars that came out with the same DLC on the same day as this thing, like the Enos Jubilee, for example, this thing would get destroyed by a Jubilee on this track. it just would not even be close. And the Jubilee is a much more capable car in general, and it's like pretty much the same price as this thing, which is crazy. So it's kind of insane that a full-blown off-road vehicle is worse than an SUV category vehicle at literally everything, including off-roading. This thing is so unbelievably slow, and you'd think that like it would have some redeeming qualities and whatnot, but beyond one, there's not really much that this thing does that I would say is redeeming. As you can see, I just got stopped by that bush right there. However, there's one thing that is good about the Patriot Mil-Spec that I will show you guys right now. So I'm going to get the tactical SMG out, and if you put on the slant back without the windows on this thing, you are fully bulletproof from the back. But this also means that you cannot shoot back in the vehicle because your bullets are going to hit the inside of the slant back that's on here. So that is something to keep in mind. However, there is a certain angle where you can actually shoot out of the side of the vehicle, as you can see right here. So as long as you can keep the vehicle at this angle, you probably won't get shot, but you can shoot out of the back. So that is something that is pretty cool about this. Another cool feature about the vehicle is the fact that it has bullet resistant windows. These can take like 15 shots from an assault rifle or an SMG, probably about 6 from a heavy sniper Mark II. So it does give you a decent amount of protection. Plus, of course, it can take 4 RPGs or 12 homing missiles before it gets destroyed. So it's pretty well armored. And of course, it does also have those front-mounted machine guns, which I will just demonstrate for you guys super quick here as well, because I should just show it. These are quite high damaging, but on the Patriot, I do find that they're kind of at a bad angle if you want to actually hit anything. They aim quite high, and keep in mind that's with this vehicle lowered too. And I'm still like, you have a pretty hard time shooting at a lot of vehicles. Like, I'm kind of surprised I'm even hitting this Bison right now, but if you're up against something like a station wagon, for example, as you can see here, like it's kind of having a little bit more of a tough time from any range other than right beside the thing. So that is something to keep in mind that is also kind of annoying about this thing, especially in comparison to, like I said earlier, the Enos Jubilee, which is just like pretty much superior to this thing in every way. This vehicle, I think no matter what, even with the discounted price on it and everything, I just don't see how this vehicle is worth owning when the Enos Jubilee exists and does everything that this thing does just better. Now, there is something to be said if you wanted to have like a roleplay thing or like get a military thing going and have some cool military vehicles. I think this thing looks absolutely fantastic. It really does look like an armored or an up-armored Humvee, you know, from like Afghanistan and Iraq. Something like that, right? But it's just such a shame because in every other aspect, this thing is completely ass. It is really, really bad. It's not fun to drive. It's super slow. It's top heavy. It understeers. The machine guns are not placed very well. The only thing that it really has going for is the slanted back, which is quite a help, but at the same time, it's not even that much of a help because you can't just shoot straight through it. You can only shoot at certain angles. Overall, I'd say this thing is probably not worth buying. Hopefully this saves you some money this week or in the future. I just don't think this vehicle is worth buying, especially nowadays with some of the Amani Tech vehicles we got going, and you know, things like the Insurgent pickup, custom, for example, or just a regular Insurgent that does pretty much everything that this thing does, just almost to a better degree in a way. Overall, the Patriot Mil-Spec is just a really underwhelming vehicle, and I just don't think I can necessarily recommend picking it up. If you are going to buy it, I would definitely buy it when it's on sale. I would definitely never pay full price for this vehicle, particularly if you don't have the trade price either. If you're paying like full price, non-trade price, this thing's a scam. Don't even buy it. It's not worth it. But anyway, guys, that's pretty much it for the Patriot Mil-Spec customization and review in Grand Theft Auto Online. If you guys enjoyed the video, if you learned something, a like is of course appreciated. If not, dislike, and consider subscribing to my channel if you guys are new. With that being said, I'll see you in the next one. Till then, take care. Peace.